The next boxing show will be held in this stadium on Wednesday, May 23rd. That's Wednesday, May 23rd. And now, officials for tonight's contest, appointed by Boxing Commissioner Floyd Stevens, the knockdown timekeeper at the bell, Maurice Rigler. The timekeeper, Ray Goldman. The judge, Joseph Lanahan on my right. On my left, Jack Asprey. The Boxing Commission physician in attendance at ringside, Dr. Joseph Cahalan. And your referee is Lou Handler. And now tonight's main event from Detroit, Michigan, weighing 208 1/4 pounds, wearing purple trunks trimmed in blue, the former heavyweight champion of the world, Joe Louis. His opponent from the province of Camagüey in Cuba, weighing 188 1/2 pounds, wearing white trunks trimmed in black, Omelio Agramonte.
Shake hands, boys. Now listen carefully to what I say. When you're in a clinch, keep punching till I tell you to step back. And when I tell you to step back, stop punching and step back cleanly. I don't want to have to touch you with my hands. In the event of a knockdown, the man standing will go to the furthest neutral corner of the ring to which I will point. Remain there until the count is complete or until your opponent has regained his feet. Now listen carefully to everything I say. Let's have a good, fast, clean fight. Go back to your corners and come out fighting when the bell rings.
Well, once again, this is Dennis James down here at the Pabst Blue Ribbon microphone. We're all set now for this 10-round scrap between the Brown Bomber, Joe Louis, and Omelio Agramonte of Cuba. There's the bell. Agramonte wearing the white trunks with the black markings. Louis, in this case, wearing purple trunks. Darker on television. The question right along in this comeback trail has been, can Louis make a comeback? It's a little more of a question tonight as to whether or not he'll go on from here. This is the most decisive scrap of his comeback. Should he lose, it's a positive fact that Louis will then hang up the gloves for good. Down in the dressing room, he was mighty determined. Very quiet. Joe Louis on the left. I tell you, incidentally, if you've been worrying about that left hook of Joe Louis's, but according to the boys in his corner, that left hook is sharp. This is that feel him out, first round. Remember, Joe Louis, 208 3/4 pounds, Agramonte 188 1/2. Agramonte on the left. Both of them cautious. Still that same Joe Louis stalk, as you can see, stays right in there after him. You notice Agramonte, when he throws those punches now, isn't throwing any body behind them at all. They're just feelers. The boys in the Agramonte corner say that he has some secret weapon. Time for the bell. One minute left here. 1 minute left. Round number one. The feel him out first round. Lewis took that left. It came right through the defense. .30 seconds left here in the first. Lewis worked that short right hand. And that left wing was a slip. It was a slip on Lewis's part, and we've got about 2 seconds left for the bell. Well, that slip brought about some excitement anyhow. And so it'll be round number 2. Brown bomber found himself reeling backwards that time. Foot probably got caught in a little fold in the canvas. There's the bell, and here we go for the second round. Joe Louis wearing darker trunks. Emilio Agramonte, introduced from Havana, Cuba, comes from Camagüey, the same place that Kid Gavilan comes from. Notice that Joe's been laying those jabs in kind of heavy-like, not with a flagellant whip. Lewis with that left hook in the right that worked. And he's got him in trouble. It's down to the canvas. 2, 3 is the count. 4, 5. Agramonte on his knees. 6, 7, 8. His eyes look all right. 9. Agramonte doesn't show too much signs of wear, but we'll see what that Brown Farmer can do in the follow-up. Remember, that's been a trick of the old Joe Louis trade. He meets a boy the first time, may have trouble with him, and then the second time he kind of knows where those weak spots are. It was a right hand that time by Agramonte that worked. And Louis has a look of consternation on his face. We're in the second round out here at the Detroit Olympia. Another IBC scrap, and this sure promises to be a good one. Louis working on those kidneys. Agramonte still with lots of stamina left, lots of steam. Left hook that time by Joe. About 55 seconds remaining here in the second round. You notice that Agramonte gets himself off balance sometimes and trying to get away from Joe. And that left hook again. The glove was in the way, but still, there was enough force behind that punch. About 30 seconds to go. Agramonte holding up pretty well after having been knocked down. Seconds. All right, there's the bell, and by far a great round, as the crowd indicates. Joe Louis. 64 professional fights, won 62 of them. 52 by KO. And against Emilio Agramonte, light trunks, the dark stripe. Agramonte with 43 fights under his belt. He won 34, 22 by KO. Lost 9. That 1 minute rest seemed to have done Agramonte some good. Those eyes are cleared up. The thing that Joe has to watch carefully with Agramonte is that long right hand. Notice how Joe just keeps moving forward.
Keep punching, keep punching.
Those jabs are getting to Agramonte. As I told you earlier tonight, this is a mighty, mighty important fight to Joe Louis. In that manager Marshall Miles said that if he loses tonight, he'll definitely hang up the gloves. About 55 seconds remaining. Third round, scheduled 10-rounder. We got an awful lot of the newspaper boys here tonight, too. Frank Mastro, Chicago Tribune over there. Ray Grody, Milwaukee Sentinel. Gene Messler of the Chicago Sun-Times. We spot them, we'll try to tell you about them. About 30 seconds remaining here in the third. Joe Louis on the right. Omelio Agramonte, heavyweight champion of Cuba, on the left. Remember, Agramonte was in trouble down with a count of 9 in the second round. Brown Bomber can't quite get to him here in the third. About 5 seconds left. Now, how about enjoying the beer that brings you these fights, huh? Well, we're getting set for the fourth round here. There's your 10-second warning buzzer. Joe Louis looks exceptionally good at this weight of 208 pounds. I was down at Haiti with him when he was working exhibition. He weighed 235 pounds down there, and he's tapered down consistently. It's the fourth round now. When he came back against Charles, he was 218 pounds, and then against Breon, he brought himself down to 214. Against Freddie Bichore, he brought himself down to 210 1/4. Last time he met Agramonte, he met him at 209, and the lowest he's ever gotten was against Andy Walker in San Francisco, and he was down to 2.7. Tonight, he's up to 2.8 1/2. Louis with his back to us. I told you a little earlier that Louis has been playing a lot of ping pong to get those muscles back into shape. He's given up golf completely. He said that slowed him down a little too much. Jim Norris, president of IBC, has been setting up some really great shows. He and Bill Daly, the manager of Lee Savoll, recognized in Great Britain as the world heavyweight champion, been consulting all day about that Louis-Savoll fight, providing Louis wins tonight, of course. And if that fight is set up, Savoll wants it in New Jersey, his home state. And now it's Agramonte working on Louis. There's the long right, a little bit short. Louis came in with that left hand. It was a delayed action blow. Once again, those Agramonte legs are a little wobbly. In the fourth round, scheduled 10-rounder out here at Detroit Olympia, brought to you by Pabst Blue Ribbon. Finest beer served anywhere. And Louis again working on Agramonte. There's only about 25 seconds remaining here. 25 seconds to go here in this fourth round. Whittling down to 15 seconds now. Well, This Lewis tonight is a crowd pleaser. There's no doubt about it. 5 seconds left. At the end of the fourth. There's the bell. A good half of the crowd out here at Detroit Olympian. So it's round number 5. Schedule 10. Joe Louis on the left. Omelio Agramonte circling around him. You notice Joe very slowly and deliberately keeps moving in, plodding in. Notice Joey Maxim was pretty free to talk about how he thought he'd handle Ezra Charles. Down in the dressing rooms, I found it impossible to get out of Joe Louis or Agramonte how they would come out. Joe said, I'll be in there trying my best. Agramonte said, well, I think I know his weak spot. I think I know what to use. And having spoken to Fernando Valido, the manager of Agramonte, he's got 2 managers, Valido and Angel Lopez. Valido said it'll be that long right hand he expects to get to Joe with. We shall see what we shall see. Remember, Agramonte was in trouble in the second round, down for the count of 9. And here in the 5th, he looks pretty strong again. Joe had him in trouble in the last 30 seconds of the 4th round. They've undoubtedly told Agramonte to keep moving and not to move in any one direction. The official records, this is the second time these boys are meeting, but actually they've met 4 times, counting tonight. There were 2 exhibition scraps in Cuba in 1949. Joe Louis from Lexington, Alabama, played at Detroit. Both working very slowly here in the 5th. Remember, they're heavyweights. All it takes is one good one. You see how far out Agramonte throws that right hand from. And that right with a little bit light thrown by Joe, and there is the bell. It always seems to pick up in the last 5 seconds or so of every round. Bill coming up for round number 6. Incidentally, 1951 here in Detroit marks the 250th anniversary of the founding of Detroit. And this town is celebrating all year with a terrific 250th birthday festival. A big part of this celebration is devoted to sports events like this one you're seeing tonight. They have an all-star game scheduled. The National Open Golf Tournament will be here in Detroit. So they want to make it a banner year sports-wise. And it bears repeating that the IBC, the International Boxing Club, putting on some great shows. As far as I'm concerned, this one still has the tension of the Joe Louis of old. It's great to watch him in action. Come to think of it, on television, you know, a lot of the kids never did see Joe Louis fight a fight. And now with television, they've heard the name. Now they see the old brown bomber in action. Louis trying to find that opening. Started with that left hand to pave the way, and that right went over the head of Agramonte. Notice the way Joe sticks that chin out, drawing the lead from Agramonte. it's a little flow from the right nostril. Just a trickle of blood from Joe Lewis's right nostril. No damage done to Agramonte whatsoever. Except that he almost didn't see the end of the second round. He was down with a count of 9. Well, no sooner said there were no marks on the face of Agramonte, and Joe got to his eye, the left eye of Omelio Agramonte now has laceration. Time for the 1 minute mark. 1 minute left here in the sixth. Using a 30-second timer, and I glance down at that watch every so often. I get the feeling it's coming up for the end of the round, and there's another full minute to go. Should have brought my own watch. And there's a beautiful right hand and the left thrown in there by Agramonte, but Lewis blocked both of them. That right looked like it might have gotten past the glove of Joe. And now it's quite a heavy flow. Both nostrils of Joe Lewis. And so there weren't any marks before. You have marks now. That left eye of Agramonte just about closing, and Joe Lewis having trouble with that nose. Comments picked up from ringside say that Agramonte butted Lewis with his head on the nose, and that's what caused that nose to bleed. But that is guesswork. Joe Lewis on the left, Agramonte in those white trunks, the black markings. We're in the seventh round of a scheduled 10 at Detroit Olympia. Brought to you by Pabst Blue Ribbon, the finest beer served anywhere. There's that long right. It was short again by Agramonte. Notice Joe's not wasting too many of them. If Agramonte can see through that left eye, it's hazy. Off balance, changed his mind. Notice Agramonte with that left way out there trying to measure off the brown bomber. And now he switched for a second. He switched, then threw a right jab. Watch the footwork from Agramonte. Every so often he goes into a half switch and it looks like he's completely off balance. One minute left here in the seventh round. Joe working a lot of those jabs. Used to be a question whether it was lights or not that gives Joe Lewis that bald spot on the head. He's got a bald spot there, all right. About 30 seconds remaining here in the seventh. Agramonte was in trouble in the second, down with a count of 9. In the fourth, in the last 30 seconds, those knees started to wobble again. About 10 seconds remaining here in the seventh. That missed by a mile. And a right hand that did land was a little high. That was that right hand that everybody's been watching for, thrown by Agramonte, but it was a little bit high on the head of Joe Louis. Well, to hear the boys down in the Joe Louis dressing room talk, this fight was not supposed to go to the 8th round. Joe was going to find that mark early. Both hands sharpened up, and he almost did it. Agramonte's been smart enough to stay away from him since that 2nd round. But just remember, don't sell Agramonte short. 22 KOs out of 34 wins. He hits hard, both hands. He claims the lethal one will be the long right hand. We talked about Joe Louis's weight coming down. Might amaze you to know that Agramonte started in 1939 at 100 pounds, that's all. Now he's fighting an ex-champion of the world in the heavyweight class. Another slip that time by Agramonte. And that right again misses. The shoulder. 3 jab. 1, 2, 3 by Louis. See the shift by Agramonte? Always a moving target. Left. 8th round. Agramonte facing us. Joe almost beat him to the punch that time as Agramonte was bringing that uppercut in. Agramonte with a switch again. Watch him when he puts those feet around. 30 seconds left in the 8th. Joe looking a little more deliberate now. Again, Agramonte changes his mind and almost goes off balance. Louis with a little bob and weave now. There's about 5 seconds left. And that takes care of round number 8. Let's give you a little background on Omelio Agramonte from Camagüey, Cuba. Working over him in that corner is Mondito, same boy that trains Kid Gavilan, also Fernando Baledo, one of his managers. Baledo outside the ring, Mondito inside the ring. Agramonte's had 43 professional fights, 134, 22 by KO, and he lost 9. He beat Joe Lindsay. I covered that fight myself back in New York. Beat Abel Sestak, Johnny Haynes, Johnny Holman, Ted Lowry, Teddy Randolph. And 3 weeks ago, he fought and beat Red Applegate, 10-round decision. He's lost to guys like Joe Louis, Clarence Henry, Elkins Brothers, Joe Walkup, Leoma, Pat Comiskey. And I started to tell you before, he started his ring career as an amateur weighing only 100 pounds. That was in 1939. And then he won a 118-pound title as an amateur in Cuba, and he turned pro in 1946 as a light heavyweight. From 118, he sure made a jump. There's the bell. It's the 9th round of a scheduled 10-rounder. Out here at Detroit Olympia, brought to you by Pabst Blue Ribbon. Say what you will, there's always that tension, that one punch going over in a heavyweight scrap and somebody going down for the long count. Louis keeps his laces hanging very long and very loose. When you glance up into the ring, you get the feeling that they're untied, but they're not. Lewis wanting to work in close. Agramonte wants to get back there for that long right hand, so he keeps moving. About 2 minutes left in the ninth. Agramonte in the white trunks. Lewis puts up his right hand for defense against that long right hand rather than bring up the left. Those short uppercuts working. This is one that Joe wants. He wins it. He meets Savold sometime during the summer. And another crack at Charles. Agramonte showing signs of wear. About 55 seconds remaining here. Agramonte hurt again. Those short right hands are working for Joe. And there's a left-hander right, and Agramonte shows he can take it now. He had everything in that long right, and it just didn't go far enough. About 30 seconds left in the ninth. Agramonte looked like he was on the way down and came back strong. Well, about 15 seconds. You can say congratulations to Jim Norris and Truman Gibson, the secretary, Harry Markson of the IBC. They've been putting on great shows. And this one is a dilly. Matter of seconds now in the ninth round, and there's the bell. Well, this is it. The 10th and final one coming up. Joe way out there in the center of the ring. Agramonte still seated. You know what the pep talks were in those corners. This is the round. Go do it now. That left didn't work for Agramonte. Might have looked good to you, but it glanced off the left cheek of Joe Louis. Louis on the right. Agramonte with his back to us, always moving. Joe, the Louis of old, always stalking. Louis watches the head of his opponent. Agramonte watches around the chest region. Incidentally, that third man in the ring, Blue Handler, has been a good handler. As I said before, it's hard to tell when Joe Louis tires. He keeps that same style, slow, deliberate. About 55 seconds to go here. A mighty fine turnout at Detroit Olympia. Those lefts are solid, those jabs by Louis. That time that jab landed, and Agramonte trying to get away from it, made those knees buckle, and the crowd back here, and Olympia thought he was hurt. He's still plenty strong. He's been slipping a lot. About 20 seconds remaining here in the 10th round. Joe Louis sticking out that left jab. Then it goes to the hands of the officials. Joe Lenahan, Jack Asbury, referee Lou Handler. Time running out. And it's time for the bell, and there it is. Well, in just a little bit, we'll know. Remember, I told you before, it's extremely official. From Marshall Miles himself. If the official should say it, that Joe Louis lost this fight here tonight, he'll hang up his gloves. In the event that he wins it, the plan is to fight Savold sometime in the summer outdoors, and then another crack at Charles, probably in September. No times, no places set. Also, Miles wanted it known that Joe Louis brought that weight down under the supervision of Dr. Bob Bennett. Eating the right foods, handling himself in the right way. Joe feels awfully bad about having given up golf, but he was told it slowed him down, so he turned to ping pong instead. Here it is.
The official scoring, Judge Jack Asbury voted 59 points for Louis, 41 for Agramonte. Judge Joseph Lenahan, 57 points for Louis, 43 for Agramonte. Referee Lou Handler, 57, 43 Louis. The winner by unanimous decision, Joe Louis.
Well, history repeats itself. History repeats itself. February, Joe Louis did it, and again he does it. A 10-round decision over Omelio Agramonte. And all the officials saw it the same way. So the mighty Joe will be around for some more fights. He meets Savold, as I said, in the summer. No official dates.